Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Yet to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Mosai, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahai, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shai. So we got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elder bishop, elders of great millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all the Israel, whether accepted or not. In a sincere salutation to all the occupant pushing the truth and believing this truth throughout the four ends of the earth, the entire world. Shed light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Agua who are listening learning. You few sisters are listening learning. Coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another day of edification, Lord, witness be edifying. So I titled this lesson. Let's talk about the craftiness of the Idumeans, the Edomites, the so-called white people, and them touching us. Now, these Edomites had an interview. Ron Patton and Miriam Knox had an interview a while ago, and Elder Apostle Gabar brought this out some years ago. It said the master plan of the illuminated Rothschilds, Ron Patton interviews Miriam Knox. Now, for these Edomites to put their hands on us, they had to know. And the scripture tell you that they knew that the Lord has stopped dealing with us when it comes to him hiding his face. You can read in Deuteronomy 32, the Lord said, I will hide my face from them and I will see what their end shall be, right? It's also in Hosea 5 and 15. Now, real quick, I want to get here in Judith. Now, this is in Judith chapter 5. And all these nations know this, man. This is Judith chapter 5, in verse 15, it reads, now here is these guys talking to this king, Holofernes. This is what they said. This is Judith 5 and 17. In which they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hated iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, which is in Deuteronomy chapter 4. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. So I'm going to show you. Now, when you read this in Judith 5, you had Ammon, Moab. Actually, yeah, it's Ammon, Moab, and Edom in this chapter. And they came together to take us down. Now, let me go to real quick. I think it's Judith 16. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me check. Maybe Judith 7. Yeah. So in Judith the 7th chapter, you had, this is Judith 7 and 8. Then came unto him all the chief of the children of Esau, and all the governors of the people of Moab, and the captains of the seacoast, and said, let our Lord not hear a word, that there be not an overthrow in thine army. So, in this chapter in Judah 7, which goes back to Judah 5, it was Edom, Moab, and Ammon to cut off our water. So, let's get this. In Jeremiah, matter of fact, let me get Psalms first. The point I'm making is Esau know who the Israelites are. They knew that the Lord hid his face from us. Therefore, they can take us. Let's get this. Let's get Psalms first. This is Psalm 71 and 10. It reads, for my enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together. So in Judah 5, the whole chapter of Judah, it was Edom, Ammon, and Moab. But then when you read Psalms, what's that? Psalms 83, is it? Yeah. So in Psalms 83, they came together, all these heathen nations. So in Psalm 71 and 10 again, it reads, for my enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, saying, God hath forsaken him. See, they know this. And I pulled up this article to show you that the elites know who Israel is, man. And they know that they know that their lineage go back to Esau, man. They know this. This is Psalm 71 and 11, saying, God hath forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. They knew that the Lord hid his face from us. What did this slow belly nigga, Anthony Fauci, say? He said that African Americans, blacks, whatever you want to call us, African American, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans need to drink the Capri Sun first because we are vulnerable. The word vulnerable, go look it up. It means defenseless, powerless, unfortified, no protection, unguarded, unsafe. So Esau knew, and see, that's the thing, that's the trick bag. When you read in Proverbs 16:11, the Lord say, all the weight of the bag of his. So the Lord literally got people in the trick bag. So the trick bag is they still think that the Lord is not dealing with the Israelites. So, but they got to know, seeing Jake is standing up, because the Lord say in Ezekiel 11:16 that he's going to be a little sanctuary to the remnant of his people into the countries where he scattered us. So seeing Jake standing up in great boldness, they gotta these. I'm talking about the elites. I ain't talking about no damn Bill Gates and no Warren Buffett. Them niggas don't. Them niggas are nobodies. I'm talking about the elites. They know. They sit back watching. They gotta know because these are the ones, Oppenheimers, the Rothschilds. These are the ones that know who we are, man. They know. That's why I got this article. I'm going to read some of this. Now I say again, saying God hath forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. So they know that the Lord hid his face from us. They know this. They know that they Edomites. So they read the scriptures. They got scholars that read the scriptures. They know, man. But they would never say, okay, this is that, we them, y'all them, this is part of the prophecy. They would never go into that, man. So the Lord had these bastards to create the unicorn, the same way they wrote the book Esau Edom. Who was Esau Edom? The Roman Empire, the Empire of the Edomites. The book Apostle Hart mentioned years ago. I got America in Prophecy. The book is called America in Prophecy. The Edomites wrote this book by E.G. White. These guys write these books The Lord had them to create the unicorn so we can dig into this and link it with the scriptures. Because the scriptures is foolproof. Everything else is secondary, man. This is Jeremiah. Another precept to prove to you they know that the Lord hid his face from us. This is Jeremiah 50. And I'm going to show you with this article, as Apostle Kabar brought out years ago. This is Jeremiah 50 in verse 7. Now, I read Psalm 71. It said, let's read it one more time so we can link it directly with Jeremiah. Psalm 71 and 10. For my enemies speak against me, which they did in Judah, Edom, Moab, and Ammon. For my enemies speak against me, and they lay wait for my soul, take counsel together, saying, God hath forsaken him. See, they know the Lord hid his face from us. This is the point I'm making in this lesson. They know the Lord hid his face from us. But what they thought is, it says in Psalms 50, what the Lord say, thy thought is, but I will set them in order before thy eyes. You thought you were going to continue in your wickedness and nothing was going to change. Well, we watching the change happen. It says, saying, God hath forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. In Jeremiah 50, they said the same thing. It's Jeremiah 50 and 7. It reads, all that found them have devoured them. And their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord. I read Judah. What it said, what it said, these Edomites, Edom and Ammon telling the king, as long as they didn't sin, we're gonna go back and read it. Jeremiah 50 and 7, all that found them have devoured them. Their adversaries said is the buzzword, we offend not. We didn't do nothing because they have sinned against the Lord. We ain't do nothing. The Lord forsook them. So now what? Because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of the just, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. They know this. They know the Lord hid his face from us. Let's read this again in Judah 5 and 17. And which they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hated iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captive into a land that was not theirs. And their temple, and the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. Now, when the Babylonians took down Jerusalem, who was there? Let's read it. First Ezra 4 and 45. Who was there when the Babylonians took down Jerusalem? First Ezra 4 and 45. Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans. They was there. They know. Guess what they did? I mention this from time to time. They watched how the Babylonians took us down, and Esau perfected it, man. So when 70 AD rolled around, they perfected how Babylon took us down in 586, man, BC. Now, listen to this. The point of this article is say they know, man. They know the Lord hid his face from us. And right now, today, right now, they know that the Lord has turned back to us, man. Because they have watched for years, nothing happened. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, men been standing up talking about the elites, we the Hebrew Israelites, this, and that. They know, man. Listen to this. This further in the interview. And the interview used to be on YouTube. They took it off. I remember when Pastor Gabar did the lesson on it, man. The interview was still on YouTube at the time. They took it off. So here it is on Google. Listen to this. Can you be more specific? Can you be more specific as to the role of the Rothschilds play in all of this? This is Miriam Knox. She said, "Well, most people who are into conspiracy know the Rothschilds are the most powerful family in the world, which it would be the Oppenheimers that the apostles went through. But you really don't hear about the details relating to how they have set themselves up to be king of the Jews and to usher in the Antichrist, which is many. It ain't just one. It was the Rothschilds who financially backed the nation of Israel, which we know by the Balfour Declaration. We know about this. 1947, 1948. So they could eventually set up the throne for the Antichrist in Jerusalem. And yet, during World War II, their money and resources were used to kill millions of Jews. No, millions of Edomites. But these were seen as the expendable Jews from the house of Jacob. And this is that garbage they used that Hitler had Jews, Israelites, in his camps. Hold on, guess what? They ain't had no yokes of iron on them. See, that don't apply to Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Them Edomites that Hitler had in his camp didn't have yokes of iron on their neck. It said, but these were seen as the expendable Jews from the house of Jacob. Remember, these guys have the audacity to use the Bible as a blueprint to take over the world. And we know this through Roman Catholicism, through Roman Catholic dogma, Christianity. Let me give you some background information on one level. The Rothschilds secretly called themselves, they secretly called themselves, they secretly called themselves the house of David from the tribe of Judah. What they say? They the Jews, right? Now, Rothschild translated from German to English means red shield, red child. During biblical times, the Edomites' fortress was the red rocks of Petra. Esau, the twin brother of Jacob, was described as red and hairy. See how they give you straight plain, straight facts, straight skinny? Because they tell you that he came out red all over like an hairy garment. So they knew Esau wasn't red and hairy. It knew he wasn't red like the hairy. He was red and hairy because in ancient time, when you go to Genesis, the Lord told Abraham, told Noah, Salakia. The Lord told who was it? Moses, Salakia, to dye red garments, badger skin. It's in is it Exodus 25, 26, one of those chapters. The Lord told Moses to dye badger skin or ram's skin red, meaning the fur, to lay over the temple, man, where the Ark of the Covenant was. So in the ancient time, when they say he came out red all over like an hairy garment, that garment was us. Whatever animal we killed, we cut the skins off them. We made blankets. We made like coats, quilts, and we dyed it red, man. So even right here, they say Esau, the twin brother of Jacob, was described as red and hairy. Okay? Not meaning his hairy skin, his hair was red. No, he came out red all over like an hairy garment. See it right here. So this information fits perfectly with what survivors have been telling me, that on a deeper level, the Rothschilds are also claiming to be descendants of Esau and thus are really from the house of the tribe of Esau. They know this. They know this. It's these slow bellied niggas that don't. Even the Rothschilds, man, listen, they know this. So it's again, the Rothschilds are also claiming to be descendants of Esau and thus are really from the house of the tribe of Esau. What they are trying to do is to get the birthright back. Pastor Boyce go into this all the time. They're trying to get their birthright back from the house of Jacob. Let's read it again. What they are really trying to do is to get the birthright back from the house of Jacob, who are the real Jews. However, the book of Obadiah talks about the destruction of the Edomites in the last days. Vocab Malone, in the last days. So this leads up to another interesting point. In Revelations 3 and 9, it says, Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Which are my Israelites, wicked Israelites. Yeah, so this don't apply to the elites. This talking about wicked Israelites. It say, but do lie, behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet. Then I asked the question, who is the synagogue of Satan? The only logical conclusion I can come up with is the Illuminati Rothschilds. Listen, he say, okay, now let's look at some other things. Maya Amschel Bauer Rothschild had Salaki Maya Amschel Rothschild had 5 sons. Go to Genesis 36 on your time and see how many sons that Esau had. He had 5. You can't, this ain't no coincidence, however you pronounce the word. You can't make this up. Maya Amschel Rothschild had 5 sons. In order to keep the wealth in the family, what did they do, Lord? There were a lot of inbreeding, like what the European royal families did. Okay? How many sons did Esau have? 5 sons. You can't make this up. This is from them, man. This is, the Lord said in Psalm 64 and 8, I will make the own tongue. First, he said in Psalm 64 and 7, the Lord shall shoot at them with the arrow. Because when you read in Psalm 64, 1 through 6, they have been shooting at us since they've been in power since 1492. They've been shooting at us. So in verse 7, it say, God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded, so they shall make their own tongue and fall upon themselves. So in this article, which Apostle Bar brought out years ago, this shows you they know the Lord hid his face from us, man. And I just want to make some points. Now, I got a couple precepts, and I'm gonna close out. Because what happened is the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent took it by force. Who is the violent? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So let's get these precepts. But they know the Lord hid his face from us. They know it was open. It was, it was open season to take us down. As a matter of fact, let me get this. Salakia, Judges. Let's get this. Judges 2. I love to bring this out, man. It's also in Baruch. The precept to Judges 2 and 14 is the book of Baruch. This reads, Judges 2 and 14, and the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel. The Lord was pissed off, man. It said the Lord was hot against Israel. He delivered them into the hand of the spoilers that spoiled them. And he sold them. That's what it's in Baruch. And he sold them. That's why it tell you in Isaiah that it say we shall be redeemed without money. Nobody can redeem us. The Lord sold us. So who got to get us back? The Lord. And he sold them. So when you slow-bellied niggas like Marcus Rogers go into Deuteronomy 28 and 68, when it say, you shall be bun men and bun women, and no man shall buy you, you dumb nigga. We can't be redeemed with gold and silver, with money. It's by the blood of the Messiah, Yahweh Shai. Tell you in Isaiah, we shall be redeemed without money. No money can get us out of this. The Lord sold us into the hand of the enemies. Again, it say, and he sold them into the hand of the enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. So who sold us? So who got to buy us? Don't worry, I'll wait. Now, this is Matthew. They don't get it, man. And it's not for them to get it, man. And call out Yahweh Shema Shai for the thorough understanding of the Bible. Even this slow-bellied Edomite, what his name is? What his name is, Teddy Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt said, "A thorough knowledge of the Bible is worth more than a college education." Come on, man. What we talking about? Matthew 11:12. It ain't for him to know. That's why Yahweh said in Matthew 11:25. Matter of fact, I'm right here. Let's read that first. Matthew 11:25. Yahweh said, at the time Yahweh answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Yahweh of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, them that think they're wise, according to the knowledge of the so-called white man, which the Lord called foolishness, right? I thank thee, O Father, Yahweh of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent. And what did he do? And has revealed them unto babes. Then the Lord say, return to him as a little child. This is not for low-level thinkers. This ain't for the faint-hearted. Matthew 11:12, and it reads, and from the days of John the Baptist unto now, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence. Who is the kingdom of heaven? Didn't the Lord tell the Pharisees and Sadducees, the wicked ones, that the kingdom of heaven is within you? Sure he did. Tell you that in Deuteronomy 32. What did the Lord say? He shall rain down his doctrine. It shall distill it to do. He said, give ear, O ye heavens. Let me show it to you. This ain't the Lord talking to the angels in the spiritual realm. He talking to us. Deuteronomy 32:1. It reads, give ear, O ye heavens. Is he talking to multiple heavens? No, he talking to the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak and hear, O earth. See, he talking about them on earth and these contaminated bodies, the words of my mouth. Let's go back. Matthew 11:12. And from the days of John the Baptist unto now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. And what, Lord? And the violent take it by force. Who is the violent? Hold on. Let me see if I can get it. Is that Psalms? What is that? 143? Let's see. Psalm 143. No. Maybe hold on. Bear with me. Select you. Let me jump that way. It's Psalms 140. I think it is. That's what it is. Psalm 140. Who is the violent? Well, we're going to show you. This is Psalms 140. Call out Yahweh Shemavashah. King David speaking. Deliver me, O Yahweh, from who? The evil man. Preserve me from who? The violent man, which imagine mischief in their hearts. Continually are they gathered together. For what, Lord? For war. I read in the article, they funded World War II, World War I, and they are funding World War III, which is brewing up. They have sharpened their tongues like a sword through their laws, their policies, their legislations, their democracy, their draconian measures, their religion. Keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Esau, Edom, Malachi 1 and 3 and 4, Proverbs 3 and 33, Isaiah 34 and 5, the wicked, the so-called white men, the Idumeans, the Edomites, the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Duplans, the Gettys. Keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from who? The violent man who have proposed to overthrow my goings. Can't make this up. Let's keep it moving. Back to Matthew 11 and 12. Who is the violent man? It's the so-called white man. Matthew 11:12. And from the days of John the Baptist unto now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force, right? When you go to Ezekiel, you got to pay for all this, man. You got to pay, man. Ain't no escaping. The brother, every brother always say, you ain't finna ride off like John Wayne in a movie, man. Like Clint Eastwood, you ain't finna ride off on no horse, man. Your ass finna pay you, bastard. Ezekiel 35. And we don't got long here neither, man. Hey, the Lord, and I want to admit the Lord is numbing us up, man, to everything that goes on in our life, man. We don't give a damn about nothing else but this truth, man, and surviving, Lord willing, to the end, man. Now remember, it said the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent took it by force. Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had what? A perpetual hatred. What are these niggas talking about? Love the Edomites. You dumb niggas. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel. How, Lord? By the force of the sword. In the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity had an end. So the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent, the Edomites, the so-called white man, he took us by force. Yeah. And what did the Lord say? Psalms 105. And we're going to keep throwing this in your face. Hey, I'm going to keep throwing this in your face, you bitch, much as I can. Lord willing. Psalm 105 and 15. Let's go up. Thus saith the Lord, verse 13. When they went from one nation to another, who went? Israel. So-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. When they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another. And to tell you this in Jeremiah 50. Let me show it to you. Just for edification. Let me show it to you. Jeremiah 50. We went from one kingdom to another. Jeremiah 50 and 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherd have caused them to go astray. That's why I tell you that in Zechariah 11. Their own shepherd pitied them not. It was Jake, wicked ass niggas. Same ones today. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away. Well, Lord, on the mountains, they have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. That's what they're talking about right here. Psalms 105 and 13. When they went from one nation to another, mountain to hill, from one kingdom to another, mountain to hill, he suffered no man to do them wrong. Yeah, he reproved kings for their sakes and them that was in Jericho, man. When you read about Rahab, man, Rahab heard. They all heard what the Lord did to the Egyptians, man. It tell you that in Psalm 74, man. That it said in Psalm 74, it tell you that the dragon was our meat in the wilderness, man. What is it talking about? The substance that we came out of Egypt with, man. Go read Psalm 74, man. That dragon was talking about the Egyptian empire, man. He suffered no man to do them wrong, yet he reproved kings for their sakes, saying, touch not my anointed. What did they do to Yahweh? We talking about the first of the first of the first, the first anointed, man. That's why he said in John 15, if they persecuted me, they would do you the same. If they didn't listen to me, they ain't gonna listen to you. Saying, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. What do? They did us harm. Zechariah. That's a few precepts I want to read. Meditating on this at the plantation today, man. You bastards, you Edomites, you so-called white people, your ass gonna pay, man. I'm talking about. And in the kingdom, ain't gonna be no time. So one day gonna be so long, man. 1,000 years of hardcore, whatever we want to do to you bastards, with no time. I'm meditating terror. Zechariah 1 and 15. And I am so displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they held forward the affliction. You got to pay for this, man. You gotta pay. Obadiah, talking about the Edomite done away with. You slow bellied niggas. As a matter of fact, Ecclesiastes, this ain't even part of one of my precepts, but thus saith the Lord. Ecclesiastes, this nigga vocab talking about the Edomites done away with. Not according to the scriptures, you bastard. Let's read it. That's why I say they that come out to them should not rejoice. Why? Because they got to pay for what they did in their previous lives. Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all the people. Hey, and if a nigga don't believe this, that nigga's antichrist. Edomite, Jake, I don't give a damn. If you don't believe thus saith the Lord, you a hypocrite. You're an antichrist and a hypocrite that the Lord called you in Isaiah 9, man. The scriptures is full proof. The Lord said, prove all things with the scriptures. Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. Esau had 5 sons, right? My amateur Rothschild had 5 sons too. Can't make this shit up. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Why? Because it tell you in Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. It tell you the same thing in Jeremiah 32:18. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. There is no end of the people. You Edomites are still here today. Oh, and I mentioned this at camp last week. Hold on. Thus saith the Lord. In Romans, right? In Romans. Let's get this. Not Romans. Revelation. Really excited. In Revelations, what did the Lord say? Revelations 1:7. In Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Salakia here. Amen. Okay. Revelation 1:7. This is a code. Anybody come to your camp talking about the Edomites, the Roman Empire is done away with, let's shut them down. 2 precepts. Romans 1:7. Behold, he coming with clouds, and every eye shall see him. He's talking about who? The Messiah. And they also which pierced him. Who pierced the Lord? Roman soldiers, right? And all the kingdoms of the earth shall wail because of him. Why is it going to wail? If he come back with all love, Jesus all love, everybody going to be saved. Well, why it said the earth shall wail because of him? Hold on. It said all kings of the earth shall wail. Now, it say, behold, he come with clouds, and every eye shall see him. And they also which pierced him. Either you believe this through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah, or your ass is antichrist. Point blank, period. Another precept. The Lord say, they that pierced him. Who pierced the Lord? Roman soldiers. What did the Lord say? Let's get this. This is Matthew 22:15. Thus saith the Lord, man. You Edomites is here. We looking at you bastards every day. This is Matthew 22:15. Then with the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true and teachest the way of God in truth, trying to supplant the Lord, slow-bellied niggas. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the persons of men. Watch how the Lord bust their head. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? So we know during this time, who is Caesar? He's a Roman. Correct? Correct. Matthew 22:18. But Yahweh shall perceive their wickedness and said, why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? What did the Lord say? Bust their head wide open. I love for a dumb nigga or Edomite to come up to camp talking about the Edomites done away with like vocab. Nigga, explain these 2 precepts. Revelation 1:7, Matthew 22:19, thus saith Yahweh Shah, show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny, which was a dime. And he said unto them, who is this image and superscription? They said unto him, Caesar's. Then said he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are the Caesar's, which are the Romans, and unto God the things that are God's. These two precepts will kill any dumb, slow-bellied nigger, any Edomite. Who's in rulership today? Who face on your money? When you pull out $100 bill, a 50, a 20, a 5, a 10, a nickel, quarter, dime, penny, who face is on the damn money? A so-called white man's, a Caesar's. In a discussion, man, it's getting down out there with that rain. In a discussion of who's in the rulership seat right now. It's a so-called white man. They face on the money. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Obadiah. Obadiah. These niggas, hey, you can't get out of this. You can't get out of it. You Edomites can't get out of this, man. Yeah, you still here. The scripture say, what's that? Isaiah 36, Ezekiel 36, right? The heathen took over our land. Psalms, what was that? Psalms, is that Psalm 70? I used to read all the time. Psalm 79 and 1. Psalm 79, 1 through 3. Isaiah 1 and 7. Luke 21 and 24. Revelations 11 and 2. 11 and 3. The heathen is going to trot down our land until the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled, man. We know this. Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou steadest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. I read first Ezra 4 and 45. Esau was with the Babylonians, he burnt down the temples. He was one of them. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in their destruction, neither shouldst thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldst not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldst thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. You should have let the Babylonians deal what they did. That had nothing to do with you. You should have just let them do what they did, but you had to put your hands in the pot. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. And you can read that in Jeremiah 25, starting at verse 14. Every last one of you 17 heathen nations, you will pay grievous deaths, and we waiting patiently. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Galatians 6 and 7. James 2 and 13. There is no judgment, there is no mercy for you Edomites, for you heathen nations. No mercy, man. And mercy rejoiceth against judgment. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. That's in Psalms 9. It's going to fall upon your own head, upon your own pate. It's in Psalm 7. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. And that's what the Lord said in Jeremiah 25. He told Jeremiah, pass this cup to all these nations and two-thirds of Jake. Yeah, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been annihilated. We'll see you bastards in the kingdom. Put this chain on, boy. Hurry up. It's work to be done. From what Apostle always say, before the sun come up, nigga, your ass gonna be working until it get dark.
I can't wait. I'm meditating. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess what? Their possessions. Couple more precepts. When you go to Second Ezra, right? Because it all through these scriptures, it talks about Esau putting his hand on us, man. He putting his hand on us, man. Let me go back up. What did it say? This will be my last precept too. Right here. Obadiah 1:13. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity, yet thou shouldst not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. In Second Ezra, chapter 11 and 39, it reads, Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts? You can read about the four beasts in Daniel's 2 and Daniel's chapter 7, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through me. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, which is the Roman Empire we're talking about, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, which they did, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. So long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit, for the earth has thou not judged in truth. And that's why James 2 and 13 say, mercy, rejoice against judgment. For thou hast afflicted who? The meek. Thou hast hurt the peaceable. Thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit. And what else, Lord? And has cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. As it said in Isaiah 33 and 1. Therefore is thy wrongful dealings come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also has looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. Jeremiah 51, when they say his sins reach them to heaven. Revelation 18, you watching it play out. And therefore appear no more thy eagle, nor thy horrible wings, because we live in the Roman Empire right now, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads. What heads? As now we dealing with the 7 heads and 10 horns right now. Nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed. Isaiah 14, even the trees gonna rejoice, that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence. Who? The kingdom of heaven suffered violence, right? And may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that shall make hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. Yeah, man. So we sit back watching these Edomites tell you they know that they the Edomites, they know that we the Israelites, and they know that the Lord hid his face from us. But what they wasn't expecting is the Lord is going to return. And what did the brother make the point? What's his name? Thomas Jefferson. He said he trembled when he think about that the Lord is just. Yeah. Oh, closing precept. Closing precept. Call out y'all about Shema Shah, man. Lord willing, man. In Psalms, what did Asaph say? Let's read this, man. Hey, the Lord was asleep, right? I think it was Thomas Jefferson said, yeah, he trembled at the Lord being just. Hey, and it was somebody, I don't know if it was him or was another one, talking about the Lord awakening. Listen, can't make this up, man. Psalm 73. Let's listen to what Asaph said. This is Psalm 73 and 20. As a dream when one awaketh, huh? As a dream when one awaketh, so, O Yahweh, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. You go to the word despise. It's a different despise than the one in Obadiah. Let's look at it. So the Lord has awoken right? I did a lesson some months ago. The Lord has the Lord has revealed himself to us. We see the Lord face now. How? Through the words, man. Through the words of Yahweh Shema Shah. The Lord has revealed himself to the remnant of Israel, man. We see the Lord face daily, man. This is the word.
Strong's H 959. Baza, baza.
To despise, hold in contempt, yeah, disdain, to despise, regardless contempt, to be despised, to be vile. What did Job say? They were violent in the earth. To be vile, worthless. They are nothing. The so-called white man, the Edomites, the elites who own all the resources. There's a number on Bill Gates. There's a number on Warren Buffett. There's a number on Jeff Bezos. There's a number on Elon Musk. They worth a few billion. There is no number on the elites because they control all the resources. They are what? With all the resources, they are vile persons, disesteemed, disdain. They are nobody. They are nothing. That's why they hiding. They are nobody and nothing. So again, Psalms 73 and 20. As a dream when one awaketh, so Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise that image. The Lord is going to make these elites vile persons, nothing, nobody. Lord was edifying. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rekad Korash. That honors to the apostles and the bishops and elders, a great millstone who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening learning. You sisters who are listening learning, through tuning in. May Yahweh Shema Shah continue blessing your houses. Stay prayed up. Closing precept. Amos 1 and 11. Hey, and to you Edomites, to you elites, to you bastards over there at Google and YouTube, keep that same energy. How you deleting brothers' channels, how you giving brothers strikes, giving brothers copyrights. Keep that same energy, you bastards. Amos 1:11. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4. How many, Lord? And for 4. I would not turn away the punishment thereof. What did he do, Lord? Because he pursued his brother with the sword. 1, and did cast off all pity. 2, and his anger did tear perpetually. 3, and he kept his wrath forever. That's 4. That's 4, man. You through, man. You Edomites, you so-called white people, listen, max out your credit cards, do what you do, get your food, go to your bunkers, whatever you got, you might well enjoy it, man, because it's over, man. The Lord is going to destroy you bastards, man. Rightfully so. Till next time I say shalom, wa, abba,